Oh, is that long? Should we have a look at these King Cobra LTDX irons? Let's say Cobra drivers sit in the world, like people like them, they know they perform as good as anything else and often often cheaper. What about Cobra irons? I've always quite liked their irons, but I just don't see many people playing them. What do you think? Where do they sit for you in the world of irons? Because I always find it quite interesting how some companies are putter companies or wedge companies or a bit of both, or driver companies, iron companies. They're a Cobra in the iron world, we reckon. LTDX Cobra King. Not a fan of the name. Did like my shot. So very rarely, first shot of the day, do I go pin mid-green, pitching past the pin and certainly to the back. You watch most of my videos that I filmed, I often start on this hole with irons because it's a couple of iron shots to carry on. I'm often at the front, a little bit first swing of the day stuff, you know. So I'm expecting strong clubs here. Standard par, obviously. So what do we expect to see in this release? Well, exactly what I am seeing. I'm seeing a relatively chunky iron. I've got the 5 iron here, and you see the back of it slightly maybe out the back, but it's certainly got that triangular chunky shape as you'd expect. Lots of jazz here on the back, you know, is crisscrossy designs and graphite-y bits, and it does what Cobra do like as good as anyone really, and maybe more than others, is they always make the look of the club feel very technical, Star Trek-y. Not Star Wars. Star Wars is almost more retro, isn't it? It makes me think more Star Trek. You know, there's a lot going on. And we'll look at the tech as we go, and also we've got indoor numbers to give you an idea of the numbers as well. So this is the 5 iron, which I'm presuming is like a 4 iron. Little bit of offset. Does look nice down by the ball. Very chromy finish when you look this way. And it's got that kind of tightness look on the face with the grooves, because I think we are seeing the CNC mill grooves in this, like they talk about with their driver and what have you. So we're actually into the wind, so maybe they're not that strong. That first, it's quite shouted. The reason I was long, yeah, that's short for a good, well-hit 5 iron there, is because it was obviously way downwind. Oh, downwind you say goes longer, what? And that did feel nice, like it felt solid. It was windy. I'm going to hit one up there to get the real sound stroke feel, but yeah, good impressions at the start. So Cobra say more flexible for more speed. The PWR core system creates our most flexible iron design for increased speed. So there's a steel core bar that's positioned the CG behind the hitting zone, they're saying, transferring more power to the ball. The core bar is fully suspended in soft polymer, allowing the face and sole to flex freely while maintaining exceptional feel. In those first 2 shots, they did feel quite nice. Longer distance, higher launch, our latest PWR shell face increases the zone maximum ball speed. New face cup design features 23% larger fin area to increase speed away from center hits. So again, trying to improve those center hits. And then we do see the CNC mill face and grooves, produces more accurate groove shapes to optimize spin and control for improved accuracy and stopping power on the greens, is what Cobra say. Yeah, that's definitely into the wind. Not normally quite this far back. So I'm 150 middle uphill, 166 back, so I'm going to play 166 yardage and it's into the wind, so I'm going to play 170. I'm going to hit a punchy, knockdowny, controlled 6. And that's why I love bringing clubs out onto the course and inside as much as possible, because like in your last fit, post in the comments, did you hit? I'm going to hit a low, medium punch, straightish 6. Like, did you do that in your last club fit? So that's up the left, but it's going to be the right distance, I think. Lovely flight. And they do, for a power bat, if we're calling it that, that does feel nice. And the look is quite interesting, to be fair. Like, it does have nice clean lines. It hasn't got masses of offset. It is chunky, definitely, but it looks and feels better than the amount of jazz that's on it. Perfect for distance, just off the green. So I'm going to use this little gap wedge here. It's quite a rounded shape. I wouldn't say this is the prettiest of shapes. The fact that it goes in so much here by the neck is not really that good looking. But to be fair, I don't know how many of you guys and girls are worried about that, as in I know better players would concern themselves with that. If it stops my ability to chip or not, obviously, is a very different thing. And then the other thing, which wasn't mentioned in the tech, that's really important with these, is we've got Arcos. Oh, I've overbroke that. And I say that, it's interesting that basically we don't seem to have it in the grip anymore. Like, you get sensors, I think you're eligible for the sensors. And it's a free trial, so that's kind of moving a bit, isn't it? Maybe in the comments as well, let me know, is Arcos a selling point for you? You know, the fact that it comes with the ability to collect stats, is that something you think might sway it over another company? Because I know lots of companies are now going that way. You're going to see these kind of stat devices coming in lots of brands, because at the end of the day, they can just collect data on what you're doing and in theory, hopefully, help design better clubs. The more cynical of us might argue there's just another way for them to watch what you're up to, how often you're playing, when you play, where you play. I think it collects weather, everything. But let me know, what do you think in the comments? There doesn't seem to be the sensors in the grips anymore. So you've just got to stick those big chunky sensors in the top and then activate a free trial. So it's funny, it's a shame how that's moved for me. Now Cobra is saying these irons are kind of their most game improvable or friendly irons for everybody, and I like the fact that Cobra are saying that in this style of club, and it's about time more companies do, because I agree. I play this style of club, this chunkier, bit of help, whatever that means, medium top lines kind of club, and I've really enjoyed moving to this, and I've stuck with it for quite a long time. Doesn't mean I won't move away. We're fickle golfers, and a lot of it's based on feel, and our feels change. But the fact that they're saying this is a user-friendly club that anyone could use, I just think is really positive, because I would like to see more people using clubs like this, because the main reason we can say MOI and those ideas and more help, and measuring that is hard, and I've done loads of tests and talked about that a lot on my channel. But at the end of the day, what they often do is offer a little bit of extra launch. An extra launch for most amateurs I've ever taught is a good thing. You get them on the course and their shots are just generally low and flat, and there's situations out of rough and those things where just a little bit of extra launch might get them over the bush and allow them to hit the same club they need to actually hit the green, rather than be one left and come up short. It's just any little help like that might be the difference between 0.2 of a shot, 0.5 of a shot, maybe even a whole shot. They feel good. They look okay. Like the 8 iron there is okay. I mean, it looks fine from here. The front edge is a little bit curved. It's almost a little, I don't know what to say. It looks a little nerdy, this club. Like, it doesn't ooze cool. Feels cool. Performs cool. Let's go inside and see the numbers and exactly how it performs. It's a little nerdy. Like, it's a bit like me, isn't it? Like, you should just put some glasses on it or something. So just finishing off collecting some numbers inside. What's interesting is it feels really solid. So it doesn't feel soft, but it doesn't feel crazy firm. It does make a bit of a ting. It's always interesting indoors. I think my outdoors, you've got so many distractions with feel stroke sound. It's hard sometimes to nail it, certainly on winter days. Yeah, I mean, it feels chunky and firm and strong, and I can see the numbers of what this 6 iron is doing, like it's out there. But it feels good. And apart from a bit of some of the curvature towards the heel, which is my personal preference or dislike, like, it looks really quite solid. Like, again, like I said, I love the fact that we're starting to talk about that these are for anybody. I call that pretty bottomy. So a good array of hits there just to show you a data spread. So this is a 6-iron I'm delivering under 20 degrees of loft, head speed 90 miles an hour, average strike was a little low toey, which I do with these kind of clubs. You've got to remember, compared to, they say it's heel and toe, but often they're more packed in the toe often. So it's like I'm finding the center of gravity, or what feels best for me in this club. If you give me a bladed club, so where it's not chunky at the bottom, and obviously you've got this big chunk of metal here not being offset by this big chunk of metal here, often the strike moves more centered to me, even slightly towards the heel for like your better, really good players. You see them getting those strikes slightly towards the heel. So this is a 6-iron carrying 195. It's a ball speed of 127, launching at 15 degrees, and it's got a backspin of just under 4,000 revs. So outside, that's 4.5, near 5,000. Subject to what match you play off indoors, the outdoor numbers aren't the same. I spin more outside, which I'll do a video, and I've done one before, but I'll do more on that because it's an interesting subject. But this is a 6-iron, let's say spinning at 4,500 to 5,000 revs, which is, you could class as low spinning, but at the end of the day, it's less than 20 degrees of dynamic loft. So less than 20 degrees of dynamic delivered loft will produce those spin numbers indoors off this mat. Like, that's where that kind of sits. The numbers are strong and good, aren't they? Should we have a little game to finish? So this is the 12-foot pebble. I'm 216 out. It's a pretty nondescript par 3, to be fair, and the pin's on the left side. To carry that front bunker with the elevation, you're looking at around 205 yards. So I'm gonna have to smash it. Now, the reason I'm gonna have to smash it is I want as much height as possible and some stopping power, because as soon as you carry that bunker, if you go at the flag, which I'm getting for the fun, it kind of slopes away. It's really hard to hold the green. To be fair, I don't think I will hold the green, but let's see, will I make it for one? And also, this is a great example of where aiming at the middle of the green often is the best play. So let's hit a few aiming at the flag. So trying to hit the flag, which is kind of middle back left. I'm gonna have to hit it, which I have. Are you making the carry? Go! Oh, that's so close. So I just need a fraction more speed. 91.8 mile an hour club head speed. Carried 197. So I need to get to 92 mile an hour and just strike. Oh, stay right, 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 and go. Stay right and go. Oh, that carried a yard further, but it needs to be to the right. 199 carry. Clubhead went to 93. So we can make this, he says, naively. Oh, that's a toe. We're gonna get away with it maybe, because it's way short. That's off the toe too much. So that dropped back to a 190 carry. And they're all my strikes, and that last one felt way toeier than the other. And you can see here, look there, I'm definitely using different, there's the geometric middle. I know it's a wood shape. I didn't change it to an iron for this little bit of fun in the software. Oh, this is definitely a soft rinky dinks into the middle, isn't it? Oh, it like that. Horrible strike. Oh yeah, baby, short right. Ah, not up and down in that. That was a 94 mile an hour club, which is my fastest club. Set the test a little too challenging for myself, haven't I? It's always fun though, isn't it? I wouldn't get to 94 mile an hour 6-iron if I wasn't challenging myself. Here we go. Will it stop? That's gonna hit the green. Oh, it's a look at it go. Look, stop, 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 stop. 202 carry, 93.6 club. All the worlds aligned. So you can see when I push myself to the limits, this club is allowing me to do that. That's like a super long 6-iron, but you can also see no club can really help you as much as maybe some better decisions. Let's try this to finish. Same tee, same club, same hole. You can guess what I've done differently. So you can see it's a different color stream because we're going to show you some different data. So a bit short right, but carried the bunker. That's a more basic chip. Go on in the comments, what's the difference? It's really subtle. Anyone who's used to using a sim will see it's on the green. My chances of two-putting that go way up compared to up and down in any of those bunker shots. I've pulled that one Stay right and go, stay right and go, stay right and go. Oh, God. Just get a little left, pretty average hit. Kick left. Take it. So that's the same amount of shots of each. Let's just show you the data there. And this is what's really interesting, and it's obviously a very small data set. So these two, fairway and iron here, are all the iron. I switched it halfway through, so we get average distance to the pin 16 yards and 15 yards. Average distance to the pin was 18 yards when I did the second batch. All I did on the second batch is I moved my aim, you can see the arrows here, to the middle of the green. And I actually hit a couple of worse shots really. So really what happened, which was interesting, I hit much better shots with the red and white, with the white and blue batch, one close, but I only hit the green once. I hit the green twice when I went for the middle of the green and just missed it on the other. So even though it's very small and you could play it over and over again to see what would come out best, but aiming at the middle of that green would have a bigger effect on my scoring, I think, than nearly any of this. Which I think is really interesting and something that you should all be thinking about as much as possible. Are these irons any good? Yeah, they're really solid. Could anyone play them? Yeah, I mean, I can pull them the best as anyone. Pulled it straight into the bunker. So if that one was aiming at the pin, that's way off to the left as well for me. Do I feel comfortable enough to stand here and give it like as much speed as possible? Yep, I do. You know, that's 94 mile an hour, 6-iron miss hit again into that bit of the green where I'm going to 2-putt 2 out of 3 of those, maybe 2.5 of them. I think it's a really well-made, solid iron. Few issues in the way it looks, but that's my personal opinion. Other people's might like it. It's Cobra jazzy. It's Cobra cool. They're cool as well as nerdy. They're like the cool, nerdy kid, aren't they? Again, a bit like me, really. Oh, I love it when I make comments like that and people in the comments don't realise that I'm just being stupid. Because we have a thing called sarcasm in the UK, which I always think is quite interesting. What do you think? Cobra LTDX. The name's not good. The feel and performance is. Love to hear what you think.